Notice, this video is not intended to instruct. Its purpose is entertainment. It has no warranty, either written or implied, and none shall be inferred. Okay, we have a typical barrel, and this is the top part of the barrel. This is the indexing pin, which fits, of course, into the top of the receiver. We've got a little nick right there. Can we see it? Let's see if the light works well. But there is a notch right there. See it? Okay, see the notch? That's the top of it. And we have a groove down the center of this, right there, down the middle. That little groove is where the cam pin, which is this little guy right there, goes on either side. It rides in there. It's what controls the lock here. Okay. Now when the bolt goes, I'll take this down so we can get a good focus on it. Top part, this is your gas key. And if you look at the orientation of the lugs on top of the bolt, they are straight up like goat's horns. And we have on top of the barrel the exact same thing. Let me turn it. See the feed ramps on the bottom, so they're made to match. Now I'm going to turn this back up, stand it back up, orient it like it is. Down here at the bottom of the screen is where the white tape points to. That is your gas port. Bolt lockup. Well, before we discuss that, we're going to go through the various parts. The terms I'm going to use when I discuss how this works. We have the barrels under the handguard, the barrel extension, which is of course hidden inside of the receiver, secured by the barrel nut. We have the charging handle, the gas tube, the cam pin relief, the cam pin track, the bolt, and the bolt carrier, and other parts. The cam pin and gas key are aligned in the upright position so that they slide in the upper receiver in the cam pin track. This will pull the bolt forward so that the ram's horn or goat's horn or bull's horn, however you want to look at it, the ears of the lugs are in the upright position. Propelled by the buffer spring, the bolt carrier group continues down the upper receiver with the bolt passing the barrel extension until such point as the bolt face and barrel touch, at which point the bolt quits moving. The bolt carrier group continues. This causes the cam pin to rotate and the bolt locks in behind the barrel extension lugs. This carrier is pushing the cartridge into the barrel. It goes in straight. I want you to watch the cam pin right here. What happens is it goes in straight because it clears the ears that are on the barrel extension. And then it hits the barrel itself on the face of it. Can't go any further, but the momentum and the spring that are pushing the bolt carrier group down pushes it. And what's it do? See the pin, the cam pin turn over? It has locked. It has pushed, cammed over those little teeth, and those little teeth now are lined up behind the teeth on the black part, the barrel extension. Now, in fact, I can pick up the piece because they are locked together. The only way I can get them apart is if I pull back the bolt carrier. And the way we pull back on the bolt carrier in the gas operation is we have a gas tube, and this works as a little saddle. And the gas, after the bullet comes through, the expanding gas is expanding, it's pushing the bullet. As soon as the bullet passes that hole right there, the bullet just keeps pushing, but there's still gas behind it. The gas goes this way, and the gas comes out in through the gas block, through the tube, and squirts up in this piece, which is the gas key. Now, pull this out. This gas key on the bolt, when it is pushed in this position, and it is cammed over. This is a valve right in this portion. Gas is trapped in here, and only when it pulls this back, as it's driven backwards, does that valve open up and let that gas pop out those holes. So that is the gas leaving the gun at that point, when it pops out those little holes. Now, why are we doing this video? We're in the path of totality. It's going to be here in, well, inside of 2 hours. The moon's coming over. We're going to be in the shadow. It's going to be cats and dogs living together in sin. The whole world's going to be in bad shape. What? At least we're going to get a traffic jam. Besides, I think you got some bootleg Chinese communist-made glasses. I can see the studio lights right up there. And I just don't know if we need to be doing all this if the world's going to end. Well, we shot enough of this video. I guess we'll go ahead and finish it. Up to this point, what we discussed is how the rotating breech works, how the lugs lock into behind the barrel extension, how the actual bolt locks in there. Because you're probably wondering, when are we going to get to what a swipe actually is? The term swiping is kind of a common term, and how it comes to be is in a semi-automatic like this with a rotating bolt. What happens is when a cartridge goes off with the powder and all of it put together, when it goes boom on the primer, the gas is produced when the powder is ignited, and it goes boom. And there for a split second, a fraction of a second, we have extremely high pressure. As the pressure ramps up in the chamber, and it kind of falls down as that gas gets produced, as the powder burns off and the bullet goes down the chamber. Now, if we have high pressure, sufficiently high pressure, when that bullet passes that gas poured in that barrel and it lets too much gas return back, and it tries to unlock, it tries to rotate that bolt, before the brass has a chance to shrink back down due to the pressure that it's just a temporary cycling of the brass out, back down, fires, it shrinks back down. If it's still in the excited, the big space, the expanded state, and that bolt tries to snatch it, tries to rotate, what it does is it has to slip on the base of the brass, on the head of the brass. It slips because the brass itself is just expanded due to pressure inside the rifle chamber, and it's trying to unlock. And when it does that, it can gouge the base of the brass with the extractor jaw, and it can, with the ejector pin, sometimes what it will do is it'll leave a little moon, little stripe on the base of the brass, and that's what people call swiping. And there's different ways that you can react to it, that you can try to control that. You'll have to excuse my neighbors over there.